Good morning, Ms.
Good
Young.
morning.
Good. Would you support a vote on the Senate floor regarding the president's budget?
Thank you, Senator Graham. As a former longtime staffer of the Hill, I would not deign to tell the Senate how to conduct its business.
Okay, well, I just would ask the chairman, let's have a debate on the budget and vote on it, and I think that'd be good for the country. Are you in the chain of command or decision-making process regarding changing Title 42 deportation policies?
I certainly keep up with the policy discussions. I also know, and I know you know, that Title 42 has also been brought up in the courts. So this might be decided by the judicial branch on how to deal with Title 42 at the border. But I am a part of discussions because there are budgetary consequences.
Right, so let's set the courts aside for a moment because we can't deal with that. Is there a movement in the Biden administration to change Title 42 policies?
Senator Graham, you know any decisions or conversations we have with the president.
Well, I mean, I read about it in the paper.
Yeah, I won't discuss anything decisional we talk to the president about, but what I will point to is in this budget, there's a 5% increase for the Department of Homeland Security, including additional agents. Look, we have a pattern of migration, and we are preparing to ramp up for a traditional pattern of additional people coming across the border.
My question is, well, do you support eliminating Title 42 deportation authority?
I don't have a personal opinion. I believe we, from a resource position, are putting forth enough money to deal with a historic pattern.
Do you believe our border is more secure today than it was 2 years ago?
Senator, I strongly believe that we are putting forward a proposal that does more than a physical infrastructure. I believe there's bipartisan support for the technology options we're putting forward, and we ask you to take a close look at that.
Do you believe things are going well here at home and abroad?
I believe I read out some statistics. I'll revisit the strongest economic growth in 40 years last year.
Yeah, I would just say, with all due respect, things are not going well here at home and abroad. And policies do matter, and I think the explosion you see at the border is about to get worse if we repeal Title 42 authority. On the defense side, do you think this is a dangerous world, getting increasingly more dangerous?
You and I have talked about this. It absolutely is, and gotten worse with the Russian aggression since we last talked.
Yeah. So in this budget, we'll be spending 2.4% GDP on defense in the next decade, at the end of the next decade. Given the threats we face, does that make sense?
If you allow me to be a little wonky here, we do budgets 10 years. You require that of us. Defense usually plans on a 5-year basis, a future year's defense budget. So we absolutely do ramp up in accordance with that. And the rest of the 5 years is mechanical, and I'm sure we'll revisit that in future years.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for you, and I think I voted for you enthusiastically, but not being wonky, this budget puts us on a path to spend less on defense, GDP-wise, in the modern history of America. And we're going to spend more on domestic spending at a time when the world is literally coming apart. China's developing hypersonic missile capability. Their military is growing by leaps and bounds. You've seen what's happened in Ukraine, and I think Putin's not going to stop there unless somebody stops him. The Iranian nuclear threat's going to reemerge again. So I would just say on the defense side, this budget has got it all wrong. That's just my opinion. On inflation, how much of inflation increases are driven by energy cost?
It is a fair amount, and it has increased since Russian aggression.
Yeah. In this budget, you eliminate tax advantages for oil and gas companies when it comes to exploring for American-owned oil and gas. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Are you aware of the calls by President Biden to get OPEC to produce more oil?
Senator, not in my lane.
Yeah, well, apparently his call for, we're talking to Venezuela, we're talking to Saudi Arabia, we're even entertaining having Iran produce more oil and gas, and we're going out of the oil and gas business here. While I believe climate change is real, I think this budget would make the problems at the pump enormously worse. And I would like to urge the chairman to bring the budget to the floor, dedicate some time, and let's talk about it and vote on it. Thank you very much.